Congratulations. That was spectacular. That's my kind of movie right there. Edge of your seat, you don't know what's going to happen. That was incredible. Thank you for making this film. And I just want to ask you, where did this idea come from? Did you write this? What was the inspiration? I'm sorry to be cliche.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's probably people who watch the movie already know this, so it's not to repeat it. But yeah, no, I had a dream about a woman who had not exactly disability, but could actually just seduce anybody, and it just kind of came out of that. And thinking about like, the mythology of Siren and the mythology of the Odyssey and things like that, and just what it would be like to do a grounded-ish version of that in the present day. Almost like an excellent character that would want to be it.
And let me ask you, how did you go about the casting process? Have you been friends? How did the casting, quite a few? Well, I know, but I'd like to.
I think Rob should talk a little bit about like why, what is the role. We actually did this in the old-fashioned way. We used a casting director. These two ladies were amazing in LA. We worked on projects like Entourage and shit like that. And actually, one of the projects in the Pacific Rim. I mean, that's kind of how Rob was in our radar, because he was about to do this huge Hollywood movie in the Pacific Rim. And so the casting was really pushing him. And I met him in LA just a few weeks before we started shooting. And it was great. And I really, really enjoyed the meeting. And I'm really glad you took forward. Okay, let's talk about how you
My approach was to do a Christopher Walken accent for the world of the job. I came along at a really weird time for me. I was straight after I got back from the Hobbit and just before Pacific Rim, and I got the script through, and it was a great script. And that was the appeal, really, because you get a lot of these kind of really low-budget indie movies come along, and most of them aren't very good. And then you get a good script, and it's like the only analogy I can use is cooking, because 90% of a good recipe is the ingredients. If you buy good ingredients, you got a good dish. And this was good ingredient, you know what I mean? The script was really, really good. It was interesting. It was superpowers. We all want to be superheroes. And there was a humanized version of that, like he said, and it was very, very appealing. I still don't know why I gave him the job. We went along, we had a meeting, and then the next thing I know, he was like, yeah, you can do it. I was like, oh, I better start preparing my American accent. Not sure about that one.
That wasn't supposed to get so much of a laugh.
No, that wasn't supposed to get a laugh at all. But that was, as people who watch the film knows, that my accent. Literally, it was ridiculous because I can't do an American accent, and it's been like a bane of my life for my entire career, and like trying to actually get it right is like performing. It was alright.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
We had this thing like before every shot, like we'd have the lines, and me and Jesse would be sitting there going, "Hey Lee, it's so nice to see you," and the whole thing would be in this Christopher Walken kind of sound, and then it kind of made it onto the screen, and I was watching myself, and I was thinking of Walken the whole way through, and that was it. That was kind of my entire prep for the movie.
So you didn't have a coach for dialect?
I did hire a coach for dialects, but they're expensive, and I'm poor. So I had her for a very short period of time. I think she helped. The struggle that I felt, and we talked about this a lot, was I felt a lot of times that when I was doing that, I had to choose between doing a good accent or a good performance, and I think your editor saved my ass a whole lot of times.
We only overdubs like 4 lines, 5 lines for accent, I believe.
There's 4 or 5 lines out of 7. Next question.
Okay. Well, I'd like to have you guys both speak just just a little bit more, what was the process like getting into that character? I mean, that's where I'm coming from. I want to know how you got there, because that's a tough role to take on. You had so many layers. And then I also want to ask the audience to be able to ask you guys questions, because theirs are usually so much more entertaining than mine.
Well, it was much easier to do, like I said, it's all in the script. It's really easy to make a good character if you've got one written for you. And Jesse is an unbelievably talented writer. And I think, I mean, that's his first time directing film. That's his first feature film. And I think that's what it is. You've got to bear in mind. If anybody's seen Pacific Rim, our budget for Pacific Rim was $200 million plus. And the budget for this film was $200,000. And the way they shot with the help of a smoke machine, if you remember that, that was a really well shot, really well timed. It was a great film, and it's definitely not the last time director. He's bloody talented.
It's like, in this day and age, you can make things look quite pretty for not too much of a budget, but the way it falls apart is with things like every detail, from the smoke machine to the production design to the makeup to everything else. If it doesn't come together, it doesn't work. So it really is thanks to these tough people here and the Brazos. You saw a special shout out, but if it wasn't that location, I don't think it would have made this feel as magical as it did.
How did you find that house?
Again? Well, it was
beautiful.
They were living, I guess.
Oh, it was very nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you, and then to everybody that really is what how it works. Should we turn over to questions?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Do people have questions? I'm sure you have questions. Who would like to ask a question to the filmmaker or Rob?
Why?
What's like the biggest difference between this movie and the other one?
Huge difference. Like when you're dealing with zero budget, you're dealing with a lot of goodwill. You're hoping that people will work for long hours for no pay, or and the condition of it is great and so forth like that. So, like I said at the beginning, you're asking people to kind of invest in a labour of love, essentially, and do it not because they're getting paid big money or because it's going to be fantastic for their career. They're doing it because they love the project. And we got a whole group of people like Emma Line, like Christian, like Steve over there. Like they're great actors that are really trying, giving their time and busting their nuts to do it. And I remember we were everybody was jumping in. You wouldn't see Guillermo del Toro helping to move sets around, but you could see Jesse labouring around, and people helping with makeup, helping with sets, helping with everything. Everybody's kind of mucked in together. And it's a much more kind of communal experience, I think, working on a small film like this. It's a much more family feeling, and that's kind of the major appeal of doing it. I worked on 3, massive budget movies, and they're all fine and everything, but you feel very much a cog in a huge machine. You're just an actor. But with these kind of productions, you're part of the family, and that's the whole appeal and kind of what attracts you to it. And you kind of get away with a lot more.
Can I just want to interject and ask you guys. I had a thought when I was watching the film, because the woman kept morphing into different women. Was there a reason for that I missed? Why was she always someone different?
It was always the perspective of where I was looking at her. So if it was a man whose particular type was, tall blondes or voluptuous redheads or whatever, they would see that idealized woman in their own mind, in their mind's eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Questions? Yes, please.
So, Kim Possible is this
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the sequel is Kid Goes on Murder Spree. Yeah, I get to wait 10 years to probably.
We talked about this when we filmed it, didn't we, Chris? I mean, it was very much a case of we were sitting there and I was like, okay, is this a happy ending? Because we just killed this kid, both his parents. and what's he going to do? He's lost, he's angry, he's mad. He's like, I really hate the special forces. I hate America, I hate we joked about that a lot. The sequel, Kit's Revenge.
Any other questions? Yes, please.
What happens next with the movie? Are you doing sort of a film festival circuit or distribution, or is there anything?
Yes, I mean, we have sale dates that are selling around the world, but yesterday I just came from Austin, most people already know this, but I came from Austin, the Austin Film Festival, where it was the premiere of the film, so it's the first screening. We're very happy to be here Thursday in Boston. So these are just the first two, hopefully, of a nice, healthy circuit. I don't even know, obviously, what the next one is. Our producer Meg is kind of like managing that side of things, but the idea is just to get as much attention, get as much people out there, and everybody who does do social media, who tweets and Facebooks and all that stuff, Instagrams, just mention it, talk about it, as long as it's nice to say. Bad things to say, don't. Just because it all helps, it really does, and even a festival like this, where it's really about the audience, really about the community, not so much about a sales thing, like AFM in LA or something like that. It helps because it helps raise the profile of the project, it helps people keep talking about it, and distributors pay attention to that stuff. So, in the ideal world, or like what we're aiming for, is the idea of getting some kind of limited distribution next year, once it's done, with one of the festival circuits. So that's the way to do that.
How do you find out what are the festivals?
Well, I think most of you have already there's a Siren Facebook page, and it's on the postcards that are on the lobby. You just like that, you'll get very, very rare, but what you want to update someone's going on the page. And it's a good way to share material and see pictures and all that stuff too. So I think there's a question about mine as well. But
Well, I just wondered, the only thing I didn't get about the plot was how you got the mother, the dead mother, to look like the siren.
Ah, well, here's the thing. I can explain this if you want.
sure.
Because she didn't have any pheromones.
No, she's dead, so who cares about her? But, no, the idea was, Steve said at some point during school, he said there's never been a photograph taken of her as an adult. They had no idea what she actually looked like, and everybody who'd ever seen her had seen her as their heart's desire. So there was nobody had any idea what she looked like, only where she lived. So that when she was dead, it was very easy to say, oh, that one.
The necklace was really the pinpoint. When he meets Guy in the diner, he's like, well, does she wear the necklace? It's like, oh, it's her. So by switching that one detail, it's enough to fall at least for the short time while they get away.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Any more plot questions?
Yes, go ahead.
Her father, did he have any issue being around? I thought that as she was in the last case, I thought, oh, is he have to be separated or because he's
Yeah, I wonder that. The idea was that because they are biological parents, they weren't affected in the same way.
just the kind of.
That's in those very different. I mean, I guess it's kind of like in comic books, the X-Men, for instance, if the super nerdy, the Cyclops and Havoc are brothers and their powers are not each other. They're brothers. So that's the idea. Is somebody up there?
Yeah, okay, so she attracts men, she attracts animals, but we see no instances of her attracting other women.
Ah, yes you do.
When?
Well, it's more of a negative reaction.
No, yeah, we see a jealous reaction, but we don't see any attraction reactions happening in other women.
It was supposed to be, it's the idea is kind of inspired by biology, but the idea of just like, there's certain insects and in real life that have a certain pheromonal effects on the opposite sex. They don't actually have an effect on the same sex. And with this one, it's more about a survival thing, so in the sense that she does have an effect on her, but it's an aggressive, completely, not just a natural jealousy, it's like an instinct to destroy. And
Right,
that was
but
where
that's ignoring a lot of the spectrum of human sexuality.
Oh yeah, it's not a documentary. The idea was that it was supposed to be fantastical in that sense, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because some of the people involved in post-production who aren't here, I'll just say it, they were actually, they were gay men, right? And we would talk about the story, and they wouldn't for one second think, well, what if a gay person, I wasn't interested in exploring that side of it, because it just didn't.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like, the people that enjoyed the story, it was just on that level. I mean, obviously we live in a very, diverse society, and it just would feel muddy if she was like, the powers of sometimes I didn't. I had to choose a couple of rules, and that's what we went with. But I'm sure there's a version of a woman with this power who only attracts women and doesn't attract men. I just haven't met
wish I had her power. Great.
But the men were attracted to him. They wanted to hurt him
Yes,
down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why were they beating him up?
because she said it in the film, like the smell of her on me reminded them of her and was therefore a tease.
So why weren't they humping you instead of?
Well, that happened after that scene. That was cut, unfortunately. I got the guy down and I said, "Why are you attacking me?" He went, "I don't know." I went, "Well, that's going to count." Because again, it was a very different film. But like you said, it started her, but it wasn't her, so it made them angry and jealous. And everybody that was in that fight scene that tried to beat me up were people that were on her monitor that she showed me, were people who had been affected by her previously. And then I walk along and I smell like her, and they're like, "Oh, no, I'm not very." And they get angry.
Did I see you making a cameo in the scene, actually?
Yeah, it's very, very brief, just in that monitor scene. And there was a whole bunch of stuff we shot at the hospital as well afterwards. It was in LA, it was the one day we did in LA, where actually I was a doctor as well. And it was
My favourite bit of the entire movie got cut, unfortunately, which was
it was like this.
no, not the military police. It was the bit at the end where the three guys are looking into the car and one sees one girl, one sees the other girl. Well, the third guy looked into the car and saw a dude. So we decided that